Hi everybody and welcome to the second installment of Baking in Isolation with Jonathan. Today we're going to do a dark chocolate pot de creme with honeyed meringue and a Nova Scotia honey blueberry compote. So we pastry chefs like to call this pot de creme, but it really is just chocolate pudding. So I'll teach you how to make a chocolate pudding. If you want to stop there, you go ahead. If not, make the other ingredients to go on it and show off to your friends. So here we go. What I have here is the milk and the cream in a pot, and it's going to come to a slow boil, and I have it over a medium-high heat here. I'm just going to put down a rag here to hold my bowl, and I have my egg yolks in here. I'm going to add half of my sugar to the egg yolks, and the other half is going to go here into my hot milk. So I'm going to whisk the egg yolks and the sugar together. And then I take my hot liquid. And while whisking, add it very slowly back into the egg yolks and the sugar, because you don't want to cook those egg yolks right away. So this is going to go back on the burner, and I'm going to put the liquid back in here. And I'm going to cook this until it is about 84 degrees Celsius, well actually until it's exactly 84 degrees Celsius, or until it coats the back of the spoon. If you are not comfortable cooking directly in the pot, there's no reason why you couldn't do this. Take the bowl and have a double boiler on the bottom. And as they say, a watched pot never boils, but we don't want this to boil. We're just going to cook it very slowly, just to coagulate the egg. And that coats the back of the spoon. So I'm going to remove it from the heat, and I'm going to put my chocolate directly in it. And I want it to set there for about a minute, because that will help the chocolate to start to melt. So now I'm going to stir my chocolate until everything is completely melted. Now I'm using a whisk, but I'm only stirring with the whisk. I'm not whipping. So you could use a spoon. Ideally, you don't want to create too many air bubbles. So here we are with our measuring cup, and I have a strainer put over it. I'm going to strain all of this through the strainer. And I do it into a measuring cup because then it makes it easier to pour into the ramekins. Make sure we get all that goodness out of the strainer. So here are the ramekins that I'm going to use, and it's just a matter of dividing the amount that you have between the ramekins that you have. And maybe you want to put a little bit less in and make a little bit more, a few more portions. But I am filling the ramekin up just over half. Or maybe you'll make fewer ramekins. So that's it. So those are going to chill here for just a little bit, and then I'm going to put them in the fridge, and they need to be there for at least 8 hours. So this is the compote, and it is super easy. So I have the honey wade here in this bowl. I'm going to take my lemon. I'm just going to give it a roll because that will allow all the membranes to break down and it'll be easier to juice. So I'm going to take my trusty little zester here, and I'm going to zest half of the lemon in the recipe. It requires the whole one, but as I said, I'm only making half the recipe. My lemon in half, and I am going to squeeze in half a tablespoon. If you want to measure it, you most certainly can. I've squeezed a few lemons. So we're going to stir this together, and that's going to be the base for our compote. And because Nova Scotia wild blueberries are not available this time of year fresh, you can most certainly buy them frozen, and that's what I've done. So in this bowl, I've put my frozen berries into a sieve, and I've allowed the juice to drain out, and I'm going to mix it in for my compote. But don't throw out that juice because it is really super tasty in some fizzy water. So, there. I'm going to turn this together. We're just going to wrap this up, put it in the fridge, and it'll be ready for assembly. Thanks again for joining me, and I really hope you make the recipe. Stay safe, enjoy the weather, and hopefully we'll see each other really soon. Take care.